Okay, now I'm going to talk about power sprayers. First, we're going to talk about the tank. The risks on the tank are, does it leak? Number 2, is there debris or junk or chemical buildup in the tank? And number 3 is it secure? Okay? This stuff seems obvious, man, but we see these problems every day in our repair shop, okay? What are we going to inspect? Number 1, let's inspect the lid. I sell a lot of lids because guys didn't put the lid on and they drive off and they got to come buy another lid. That's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. Screw the lid on. Check it before you drive off. It'll take you 15 seconds, okay? Number 2, fittings. Are the tank fittings secure? Are they leaking? Are they going to break? And number 3 are the bands. Is the tank secure in the truck? Okay, so here's an example of where something could leak. This is actually, I could do an hour just on this one photo. This is really a poor design. It's a cheap plastic or cheap nylon fitting that could break easily. But this is a place I would check and make sure it's going to leak. In fact, if I was a tech, I'd go to my boss and say, hey, this is a cheap plastic fitting. We should swap this out because this could be a problem, okay? Here's another one. This is bottom pickup at the bottom of the tank. This is top pickup where you suck from the top, okay? And you can see this is loose. You see where the washer has slid over, and eventually this is going to be a problem, okay? So report that to your boss. Here's another one. This is also top pickup, and I would just never use plastic in a place like this, but you can see the tank is the fiberglass is coming apart, and they've kind of used some kind of goop here to secure it. It's going to be a problem. Let's get this fixed right, okay? So do a visual inspection. This is a tank fitting. This is the right way to do it with metal fittings. The other one was the plastic. But eventually this tank fitting has a rubber gasket and it's going to leak. It's going to drip, okay? So when I would just check that. Is it dripping or leaking? Let me tell my boss. This is my favorite. Whoops, sorry. This was a landscape company that came in, and that green stuff is fertilizer, and it was in the bottom of the tank, solid 6 to 8 inches thick. Absolutely solid rock. And that white pipe is the suction tube, and you can't suck through 6 inches of solid chemical of fertilizer. And this was a total loss. I had to buy a new pump, a new tank. We had to cut the tank up to get the stuff out of it. All the fittings had to be replaced. I'll show you that later. But no one bothered ever to look in the tank and see, do I have a problem here? I mean, this is probably years of buildup that no one checked. Here's another one. This is great. Aside from the fact it's got a rubber band holding a 50-gallon tank in place, this was a sprayer one of our customers brought in. Their headquarters bought it and sent it to them. And the frame for the tank is supposed to, if this is the tank, the tank is supposed to sit in the L of the angle of the frame. But someone had built this incorrectly, and the angle was like this. So the tank's not sitting on anything. You can see it right here. It's facing the wrong way. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that someone would, A, build this, and number 2, someone would pay good money for this junk. But this tank is not sitting on anything. I mean, think about that. I mean, I view it as this. My wife and my kids are driving around this town with this kind of craziness going on. But my point is, this is something you should see and call out and say, this is a problem. Okay, and we see, this one is probably extreme. I don't see something this crazy every day, but we see crazy stuff every day. Okay, here's another one. This is why I worry that your tank is secure. So in the last picture, they use rubber bands to hold a tank on. In this case, the guy had 2 55-gallon drums of termiticide in his vehicle, and he rolled the truck, and the termiticide came flying out. It was in Florida. No one was killed. It's amazing. But I found this picture on the internet. I got to share this one because this is scary. And so occasionally you want to check your tank straps and make sure it's secure. You want to check your sprayer and make sure it's bolted down. Now, that's not an everyday thing, but once in a while. This is a nightmare scenario here. I mean, this is on the news.